Hello and welcome to my Scrabble channel. This is Adam Henderson, and in this video I will be showcasing the last two games from yesterday's four games in which I played, I felt like, better than usual. Despite playing better than usual, I still did make mistakes, like I misspelled Eureka and I didn't get punished for it against some of the players I will be facing tomorrow, like Jeff Tung and Dan Goodwin. They wouldn't let me get away with misspelling Eureka. I get that, but it is what it is. So, without further ado, I've got a game for you. This is against Alex Seaholm, and he's a very strong player. He's rated over 2100 NWL. However, it does not mean he is perfect either, as you will see from this game. All right. He actually goes first. And I shouldn't have put that. WL game. All right. He opens with Voile, and he has FE. He told me his racks after the game because I told him I was going to showcase this on YouTube. And Voile is the right play. And I drew pretty well here with Drinkers. And he plays Coziest. It actually likes Foci better. I guess it bingos more often. It also likes Koofs. So that also probably bingos more often, but Coziest scores the best. Yeah, I would guess that either one of these is just better than Coziest. So, mistake on his part, but small mistake. I guess he was thinking of playing Fen to follow up. It's just not enough points. Alright, this rack, and I knew I had to have a T. I got a T, and I played it. Let's see, he plays Devout. For 42. So there, ooh, fight. Now that is what you call an epic play. So, as epic as this game was, it was maybe not epic enough because I missed ooh fight. All right, well, let's see if I've ever seen this word. I'm pretty sure I have. Ooh fight. And it takes a Z hook for zoo fight. Okay, well, I don't know all the words. I've seen the word, but you can only do so much studying before your brain goes to mush. I've been doing a lot of studying, but I'm nowhere close to having like even 75% of the dictionary down. Maybe closer to, maybe I've got maybe close to 50% of it. I don't know. But when I say have the dictionary down, I mean you've studied words enough that you'd be able to find them when you have the option to play them. I also missed Fooey, which is terrible. I went with the third best play, which is Youth. And I'm in a good situation here. I'm actually up 57 points, but Talkfest. Yeah, I will say I didn't hold this play. I told him he told me after the game that he was like surprised I didn't hold it. Um, I think I felt like when he played it, first of all, it's really hard to challenge Alec. Second of all, I felt like I had seen it, and I also knew that Gabfest was a word. I figured Talkfest was just another word for Gabfest. I have seen Talkfest. Um, but yeah, that's the type of sophisticated play you can expect from Alec. So Alec actually goes up by quite a bit, 35 points after Talkfest. But, but, I have another bingo. And I wasn't really sure what the best positioning or which bingo between Pioneers or Perry Ions. I figured, yeah, it was either one of these two. Obviously, I'm at least doubling my score, my word score with one of these two. And I went with Pioneers because I wasn't really 100% sure on Perry Ions. But those two are really close anyway. And we have Key. And the game is pretty close now, almost tied game. And here, I didn't write down my rack. I assume dueling is a good play, but I'm not sure what my last two. Oh, it was redueling. Okay. So I had wrote down redueling. So let's look at that one. Redueling is not a word. It likes Lou as the top play. The problem with this play, though, is that yes, it's good for bingos, but human players block off remaining bingo lanes. So this V and this O, which are the most important bingo lanes, those are commonly going to be blocked off after a fishing play like Lou. So dueling is the play. And I exercised self-control and didn't try redueling. Sometimes when you have a crazy idea like that, it's hard to let go of it. Lamp left MRT. And Lamp is just the best play by a mile. And here's where the game really starts to get good. So I saw that Remix could be played. And Remix, but I wasn't sure if it was a valid play. It's a flight feather of a bird's wing. So I wasn't sure if it was a valid play, but it scores 44. I ended up playing Find, but Fix was actually the play I should have made because it has a great leave and it scores the most. I don't know how I missed for some reason playing Fix, but I guess I just got nervous. But yeah, Find was the play. And here's where the game started getting interesting. So Alec told me that he saw Wombat. I guess Raw was his best play here, maybe. But he actually played a phony word. He played Tobar. And I held the play because it was an unfamiliar word, but it's just it was so hard to challenge this because, for one thing, Alec knows a lot of words, and I've gotten burned challenging him before. But also, I had this coming back, so I had a rose coming back, and I just felt like I wasn't confident enough that Tobar was phony to challenge it, and I had such a great play in a rose coming back. I was just going to play a rose and hope for the best. So that's what I did, and I don't know. I can't really blame myself for that. So next play, he plays Ka. He has IMRU. Ka is the best play. So now I'm having a little bit of trouble, but Jig gets me out of it. So Aji is the best play out of that rack. Alakad's like chess.com has this like cool thing where it like gives you like a percentage of accuracy. So like the top GMs like I don't know. Magnus Carlsen will often play over 90% accuracy. It'd be fun if I could get like a percent accuracy after analyzing one of these games. Maybe that's something Cesar can implement one of these days. Here's my next. Ooh, I had non-ego, which was actually better than playing Nyx. I wonder why this play, because it's giving up 15 points. I wonder why this play is better than Nyx. I guess it's because I have EX under a rose. Yeah, I'm not sure about this play being better, but I chose Nyx. I mean, I guess after Nyx, the leave is pretty clunky. So maybe non-ego is better, but maybe not. I'm sure the two plays are close. He plays Murray 8, and this is actually why probably non-ego was best. Okay, so now actually, yeah, I do agree. Non-ego was the best play because of things like this. If I had still had the X here, I would have still won this game. But not having the X... saying I should have played yeah here, but everything loses. So instead, I played Ur. That at least scores 31. I was really sad to lose this game. But the problem was, Alec went out with abs. And when he did this, I said, oh, okay, I'll challenge. And then, fully expecting it to come back good, I like said, well, you must have been pretty sure this was valid. And then it ended up not being valid. And I guess to Alec's credit, he didn't like throw a fit. He didn't shout out obscenities or smack himself in the face like a certain other player. But I just played hen. Actually, I played hen here. And that wins me the game. He goes out with dab for 23, which is actually his strongest play. And I win the game 469 to 459. So that was a game. It wasn't perfect. Both sides made some mistakes. But yeah, there you go. I remember I commented that I have a 430 point average in the Albany tournament, and the commentator had a hard time believing that my average was so high, and it really is. Over the last 15 games, I have averaged 400 and a little over 430. I think the exact number is 436. And I've been keeping track in a spreadsheet. I think maybe in a future video I'll show you that spreadsheet. But yeah, games like this help my average, and it's just the average doesn't really do anything, but it's just a bragging rights thing. But yeah, I do think that 430 is a relatively high average to have. And one thing that the commentator said was, I must be playing a lot of weak players. And maybe he's right. But I don't know. I don't. The weaker players I play are people like George and Jane Bissonette, but they're not that weak. You saw their games. They still played respectable games for whatever the rating is, 1100, 1200 player. I don't consider 1100, 1200 to be that weak. So yeah, put your comments down below what you think that about any of that. And let's see, we're at 16 minutes. Let's just keep going, and I'll finish with the last game of the night. And George was like, nope, we haven't played yet. So I got George confused with Mark Peltier. So I was like, oh, okay, let's play. And we drew to see who goes first. And George went first. So I had this rack to start, but actually since George goes first, he started with Wiz. And the thing about playing lower rated players than you, even ones that are like over 400, 500 points lower than you, I believe George is about over 500. Let's just see. But the thing about playing them is you should always give them lots of respect. So I mean, he's almost 1200, so just slightly over 500 points less. So and George played a respectable game in this game, and I felt like I gave him a good amount of respect in this game. And Wiz was a good start from him because I had a difficult rack. I saw that I had aversions through an E, but with this rack there's not going to be anything. So bot likes visors. I don't really like it. I don't like it. It could set up a big X play from H11 to H15. Don't like that. Don't like that. Visor I like a little more because I have two of the four S's, so he's a lot less likely to have an S himself. And NSS combines well for words ending in S, NES, and just I think NSS bingos more than you might think. I went with Browse. I liked this play of Browse because um, uh, playing a double double through that V is more difficult for an 1100 rated player and easier for someone like me. The INS combines pretty well with the V and the R for 8 letter bingos if that spot stays open. And I'm finally, the last reason is I want to keep the board open, and Browse kind of forks the board so it can't really be closed because I'm also giving myself another bingo lane on column F. So Browse was the play here for me. And I'm also, in this play, I'm also saving a vowel, which is another plus. He plays Hind. Actually, he plays Hines for 13. It says I played audio for 14. Alright, I gotta figure out what actually happened in this game. Okay, so I thought I had played Browse, but I didn't play Browse. I kept both S's. I played Browse singular, and that allowed him to play Hines. Actually, just Hind for 13. And I have a picture of this game that I can refer to as needed. So Nosiest is the only bingo in this rack. I was looking for a second bingo, but I think that's the only one. So I have Nosiest here, Nosiest here. Those are the two plays. Actually, I don't know which one. I think I played it here. Let me just double check. Yeah, definitely I played it there. And he plays year. So he's actually, he's keeping up. He's only 9 points behind at this point after year. So I was actually, I thought he was playing good. Excuse me, guys. All right. Played audio, put it below it. The reason I played it below it is because I have the blank, so I want to keep as many open lanes as possible. Putting it below it, it keeps a really accessible open lane below NO on column F. And let me just make sure I know where his bingo gets played here. Okay, got it. So he had a better play of Horrider over there. He also had some better plays over here, I guess. Let me just double check that shoddy ear is even a word. I'm just surprised it didn't. Okay, yeah, it's the word. So he plays shoddy ear. So shoddy ear scores less than 69. Okay. For some reason, I thought it would score closer to 69, but it's only 63 points. And here was the critical moment in the game, and pretty much the whole reason I decided to make this series was this play. Now, before I reveal what actually happens here, this is the type of thing where in a chess YouTube, the YouTuber might say, "All right, what would you play in this position?" So I'm gonna ask you guys, with three A's, a blank, an L, P, and R, what would you play in this position? I'll give you a moment to think about that. One thing I knew right away when I reached this position was I didn't want to assume that there was no bingos, no playable bingos. So I wrote a few things down. I wrote down the first thing that came to my mind was parabola. It's like, okay, that's not playable. There's no B's or O's to play through. So that was out. The second thing I thought of was palaver, and I thought, okay, no, that's definitely with an E. The third thing I thought of was a parl. Now this I just wasn't sure of. So this one I'm gonna look up. Let's see if that's a word. It's not. And I figured apparel is spelled like that, and I was right. So that was out. Then I started thinking about parallax, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that has two L's. And we will just double check that. It does have two L's. You can pluralize it with the ES, but you can't play it with one L. One thing that's tempting when you get frustrated is to just say to yourself, okay, well, it's not worth spending any more time. Because I spent a long time, a long think on this play. It's easy to say to yourself, you know, it's better to just make a play and I can bingo next turn because I have pretty good letters. I'm really likely to just bingo next turn, so maybe I'll just play like nap here. Scores decent, 26 points. AALR blank is a goodish leave. That's really the wrong way to think about positions like this. You should do what I did, and I said, no, I'm going to play a bingo, and I'm going to keep thinking until I find a bingo. So I went further, and I thought, well, maybe something through the AT, maybe perinatal. And I thought, oh yeah, that is a word. But then I realized, no, perinatal is actually PERI. And I wrote it down. Perinatal, PERI. And so that was out too when I realized it's perinatal is spelled with PERI. And it's not perinatal. So, okay. Actually, even before I thought of perinatal, there was a word that kind of like was in the back of my mind. And when I first saw it, I thought to myself, oh yeah, that's cool, but it doesn't fit. And that word was palestra. And I was about to give up and just make a play and find my best non-scoring bingo play because I just wasn't finding any bingos. Now there may be other bingos in this position, but then I looked again and it just I was like, oh my goodness, that does fit. I know for sure this is a word, so I finally played it. And to George's credit, he not only knew this was, well, actually, I'm not sure if he knew it was a word, but he didn't challenge it. And he didn't even hold. And I knew as for a fact that not only was this a word, but it also takes an E, palestre. And actually, to his credit, he blocks. No, he doesn't block palestre, but I had such a great move coming back. But anyway, let's go back to that play and see if there was anything else besides palestra. That's what I'm interested in. Oh, there was palabra was the other bingo. But palestra, that's so many more style points. Yeah, so I'm glad I played palestra. I probably should have seen palabra. But anyway, some style points there. I always love to play a good 9. It's good for the I don't know, the epicness of it all. Good for the excitement. People will come by and see, oh, what's that word? So I always love playing games like this. So he plays frame next. Let me just check where this. He plays frame. So he's not out of the game. Like, in fact, not only is he not out of the game, he's actually ahead after frame. Not by much, though. It's a 16-point lead. But then this rack, and I played Gianti immediately, as I should. He plays 5. And to George's credit, he didn't lose his cool during the game. I know this type of game can be frustrating for some people. So he didn't see, or that's actually my move. I didn't see umming. That would have been a great play. What did I play here? I played mango, which is all the way down here. I should have played mungo if I'm going to play a word like that. But I keep the U. See you, not great. And now George starts opening up bingo lanes for himself after playing wait. I'm sure he had another A, giving himself a bingo lane on row 3. So I have to block it, and I had great blocking tiles, so I'm just going to play Kex. And he plays Cake, which Cake kind of just blocks off more than it opens. So I'm obviously just going to take the O column next. But I only have one vowel. That's that U. Oh, there's no F's left. That's a T. Yeah, I played Bud. He plays Ape for 23. Played Egg here. This inset. And I have to check if that's even a word. It is. Trying to read my own handwriting. Is that a C? Yeah, that's a C. Played ball here. He plays love. And the game's pretty much over at this point, other than he can still bingo on columns B and C. But I was having trouble. So here I made a mistake and I played cause. And it was a mistake. Well, I guess I'm not sure that there was a way for me to really block it, so maybe it wasn't a mistake. He plays quits here, and he has OR left. But fortunately, I can just play each wall. He plays OR there for 11. And final score is I actually have the score as 387 to 365. So I guess I made a mistake in scoring somewhere. But yeah, that was the game. That was a pretty bad scoring mistake. If I actually, I'll have to figure out where my scoring mistake was. But yeah, that was the game. Won all 4 of my games. Even though I won all my games, I shouldn't feel too overconfident. Tomorrow's tournament is going to be very difficult with these really strong players. Even Chris Seaholm is very strong. I do have, if it's going to be just one division like it looks like it's going to be right now, then I'll have a little bit of respite when I play some of those lower rated players. But I think there's a chance that Nigel's coming to tomorrow's tournament. I texted him and told him about it. So we'll see. Definitely that'll spice things up if Nigel appears. Thanks for watching my YouTube videos. I hope you enjoyed some epic Scrabble. Probably less epic if you're a Scrabble expert yourself. But thank you, everyone, and like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.